And next up, we have ForMotiv.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mike Mayock, and I'm one of the co-founders at ForMotiv. We're a behavioral intelligence solution helping insurers and financial institutions fill a critical gap left over by digital transformation. Now, with digital transformation efforts being looked at as really the #1 strategic initiative across the insurance industry, we're providing a new layer of cognitive data that improves customer experience and reduces risk. So now if you think about opening up a policy or a bank account in a face-to-face environment versus completing it digitally today, there's some key differences, right? In the face-to-face example, you get the full picture of the applicant. You know the type of transaction that they're trying to complete. You're able to understand the difference between someone that's frustrated and ready to leave versus someone that's likely to purchase multiple products, or someone that's a genuine customer versus someone that's trying to manipulate their application. Now, as we've shifted to digital, carriers have really lost that critical layer of behavioral insight, and they're forced to treat every user as the same and decision off of the final answer data that they provide, and that alone, right? So what we've done is we've developed a way to bring the same level of behavioral insight that you get in the face-to-face environment, now just in the online space. So leveraging thousands of the seemingly lost behavioral data attributes of a digital application. Think things like your typing speed, mouse movements, time between questions, corrections. We're able to analyze what we call a user's digital body language in real time to predict their intent. Now, what this does is it allows a carrier to deliver dynamic customer experiences that are based in the unique behavioral attributes or traits of each individual user, just like you would in that face-to-face sample. So some of the use cases of how carriers are actually putting this into practice really focus around enhancing customer experience, reducing risk, and accelerating underwriting and decisioning, right? So if we start on the customer experience side, we're making real-time predictions for things like whether or not an applicant or an agent starts a quote is likely to finish it. And if they are they likely to call another call center to complete or handle it all through web? Now, we're also working heavily in the agent-focused side of the business, looking at instances of subtle premium leakage from agents where they know how to manipulate a customer's application in order to get them through underwriting. And sometimes an agent's goal, obviously, to hit certain commission goals isn't really aligned with the carrier. Now, the great thing about the solution is really how easy it is to get up and running. It requires no PII being sent to ForMotiv, which is great, obviously, in order to get a pilot or proof of concept set up. We have a very straightforward 3-phased approach, where phase 1 is all about collecting data. Now, if you don't take anything else away from this presentation, know that the most important critical step in really any digital transformation process is collecting data. And in almost every case we see in the insurance space, behavioral isn't being captured today. So once you're up and running collecting data, now we can actually do something with it, right? The next step here is detect. And this is where we start to baseline high-risk behaviors and create these rule-based alerts when we see risky or deviant signals. So an example today would be something like receiving an alert anytime an agent changes the previously insured question after issuing a quote. Now, the final step is predictability. And this is what we were talking about earlier, where we're passing an applicant intent score and signals in real time to assist with automating underwriting efforts and dynamic security and engagement. So now wrapping up with a kind of a quick update and ask. In the last 4 months since our plug and play demo day, we've signed 6 new paid pilots, 4 new customers, and 2 strategic partners. So we've seen significant traction in the last 6 months and have ramped hiring accordingly. And what we're asking for today is for paid pilots from the corporate partners. We have a 100% conversion rate from pilot to customer, and we're really ready to show why and the value in getting a behavioral intelligence project stood up with your organization. So thanks so much for listening, and hope you enjoy the rest of the demos.